I just want to show you something. Yes. We went through a foreclosure of a deed of trust. Yes. Moving to Vancouver and wanting to support my family. Yes. If Heidi hadn't had a blind daughter that I thought of as my own. Yes. On the 13th of October of 2009, right after we moved. Yes. We moved to Airway Heights. Yes. They took our house from us. We actually went through a foreclosure. Now, if I'd stayed in Squim, I probably would still have the same James Thompson King Johann Financial Services. But when you go through a foreclosure, under the penalty of perjury, yeah, foregoing is true and correct. Applegate, Lisa. This idea, yes, county treasurers, yes, that I'm not going to sue you. I am. Now, under the penalty of perjury, Judge Rohr, what was the explanation that my wife said that I didn't get notice of court hearings? Yes. And then under the penalty of perjury, why don't you give me the court clerks in each and every court of the United States? How many of them actually have the legal obligation to make sure that whenever there's a dissolution of marriage, yes, they have some sort of proof of service to the respondent if they did appear in court, yes, and they have actual access to the state of Washington's reference number as it relates to the actual dissolution of marriage being able to collect child support. Now, the state doesn't actually have the right to collect the child support until the dissolution of marriage. Did I get two temporary orders for child support? No. There was one permanent order for child support. Could you go through the reference numbers of every dissolution of marriage in each and every state of the United States for the last 40 years? How many of those as named respondents got two dissolutions of marriage for one divorce? Poop. Now, for each and every state that says they have no liability, poop, you have to remember that I went through a foreclosure. Yes, you did. I've been through an arbitration. Yeah. I relocated my family right before or during a credit crisis in 2009. Yes, yes, yes. And eventually I had to leave my business at 224 West Washington so I could support my wife because of the three little children. And then the fourth one on the way, Maximilian. Yes, yes. Max was born in Vancouver. Pooch. And then you said I was a child abuser and a domestic violence perpetrator. Yes. For buying a house for my new wife. Yes. For moving my wife right now. No, I want you to understand exactly how much money we're talking about here. Okay. Now, I'm wanting to sue you in numerous jurisdictions of the world for violating these laws. Now, this arrest that I've experienced multiple times, yes, for the allegation of violating the restraint provisions of the protection order, yes, yes. And then the numerous trials that I've gone to, yes, where you wouldn't admit the evidence, right? You wouldn't say it's a forgery, yes. You would not remove that protection order or that dissolution of marriage. Now, see, this attorney called the prosecutor. Yes. At a preliminary hearing held before a judge, the prosecutor must show probable cause to justify holding the defendant for trial. What was the probable cause of trying me for the allegation of violating the protection order in Squim, Washington on December 31st of 2015? What probable cause could there have been, Mark Nichols? Yes. See, I had actually told you, yes, I was not in Squim, Washington. How can the prosecutor have a preliminary? Oh, how can you prosecute somebody for probable cause when they weren't in that city? I was in Port Angeles that whole day on New Year's Eve of 2015. Yes. And then Jack Range, yes. How can you have a probable cause arrest for violating the restraint provisions on or about